It's our annual clean out season, which means some of our customers' ponds look great, but they want us to clean out their filter pads or power wash their rocks, so the pond looks cleaner. But today we visit a pond that has an issue with keeping its water clear, and it's been going on for a while, and the owner has tried many things to get his water from this sort of brown, murky color to where you can only see a few inches into the water. So he signed up for our annual clean out, which we only do in the wintertime because if the owner has koi fish, the koi are more dormant and not moving as much during these cold times, compared to the summer, where if we put these fish in a holding tank, they could jump out. Our first steps during a clean out are to get all the equipment we have out and to set up our big stock tanks so that as we drain some of the pond water out into the street, some of it can go into our holding tanks for the fish. Now, the issue with this pond is that we wanted to avoid getting whatever sort of bacteria or muck that was in this pond into our holding tanks with the fish, because we usually add the water with the fish back into the pond that we filled with new hose water that we dechlorinated. And so you're going to want to stay to the end of the video to see what we did, because that didn't work out exactly how we wanted it. So as we drain all of the water, we start taking out the filter pads from the biofalls and we power wash them, making sure they don't get ripped during this process. And if you want to do this to your own pond, you could do the same thing but use a normal hose. It could take longer, but that's why people hire us. And sometimes people don't know how, don't have the time or the equipment to do this heavy manual labor process. We simply just have the skills to do this. With those filter pads, there's also a large bag of Biob Balls. These hold beneficial bacteria, which helps keeps the water safe for fish and other living organisms in the water. So you don't want to wash these out with your normal hose. You want to either take out a separate bin with some of your pond water or just wash it out in the water in the pond that you're draining and just wash these plastic balls off with dechlorinated water, usually the pond water, because the chlorine in your hose water could kill this beneficial bacteria off of the balls. We want to keep that on it, but just wash some of the muck that has built up on them. Now, as we're closing in on cleaning out all these filter pads, the water is almost all the way drained, and we are removing some of the homeowner's crawdads or crawfish, since he has an abundance of them. So as I said, with the stock tank and the fish, we somehow got the muck mixed in with the tank holding the fish, and it's not harming them at all. It's just that now we don't want to add that water back into the pond at the end. So the owner did agree that we will do a 100% brand new water change on this pond. And there are plenty of places such as these Biob Balls we are washing off and these rocks that still have moisture in them that are all holding beneficial bacteria. So we normally don't like to do this, and it can be less safe in a smaller pond, but with a larger pond, it's a little bit more safe to do this. And the homeowner agreed, so that's what we decided to do. But as you can see, this isn't a normal pond. It almost has two ponds that are connected. So he has a deep pond towards the back of his yard, and then it gets shallow and then drops into a larger pond. So it's all one feature, but it's two ponds technically. And the middle where the ponds meet is pretty shallow, so you're not going to get big fish from the top pond swimming into the bottom pond. And this owner also has some turtles. And we're starting to fill it up with all new water, which we usually don't do, but today we felt that it was safe and the homeowner really wanted clean water. So that's what we decided to go with. And we added our Aquascape brand of Dechlorinator, which will get rid of all the chlorine from this hose water. But remember, there are still pockets of rocks and the Biob Balls that are holding beneficial bacteria, which will make the cycle of this pond restart up a whole lot faster, with there still being some bacteria that's going to be flowing in this pond again, which is why we usually try to add some of the old pond water back in with the new, but that was just too too dirty now. It wouldn't work. It would look like how it did originally after a week. So the water will rise and it's time to add the fish. So the fish are enjoying their time now, adding them back in. The homeowner did have a few turtles, which was great to see. We love those. The water will be filling up and we're gonna be turning on their waterfall and it's gonna look like a nice brand new clean pond. This clean out was done last week, so we have checked up on the pond and the homeowner and everything is doing great. And the day of the clean out, we realized the homeowner did not have any live plants at his pond, which are very essential, extremely. So we came back the next day and added 2 different plants to each level of his pond. So if you guys are in the Bay Area of California or a little farther out and really want us specifically to do it, contact us. All of our info is in the description of these videos. Go on our website, sign up for a clean out for the fall and winter season, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Why'd you put that on it?
Trying to keep the water clear as we pull it out, keep the sediment down. Since the water's pretty cloudy as it is right now, we'd like to save as much of it as possible. So it's an experiment. It might work, it might not. Yummy. There's a lot of organics in here.
Okay.
But that one's got an extra pad in it. That one's clean. I don't know if maybe they're not running that pump all the time. This one's got 2 pumps in it. It's telling me there's a ton of organics in this pool or this pond. A ton of organics. Okay, it already clogged that thing up.
Oh.